All right, welcome back to the Olimoleague semifinals. It is game number 1 in a brand new best of 5. Quick shoutouts to our YouTube manager, nice username, who's actually, I didn't even realize, got our Overwatch VODs up already, actually. So I know not everyone here watching StarCraft right now may care about Overwatch, but if you missed our tournament yesterday, it was quite a lot of fun. I think it's safe for me to say it was like the most fun I've had casting anything in a while, even though I was mostly just observing for it. But I recommend checking out the VODs, and hopefully you guys like them. Again, just more than anything else, I had a lot of fun doing that. It was like a work vacation, or a vacation working, however you want to phrase it. Anyways, it was myself, Zombie Rob, and another guy you may have heard on, I think it was like the ASL stream and a couple other spots here and there. Draenok. There's a very radio-like voice. And it was fun getting to interact with. Anyways, getting into this, though, in the bottom left side of Runes of Endion, we have the red Protoss player. It's going to be Seed.
In the bottom right, as the blue Terran, he's Reality.
Quick last note about that YouTube comment, too, by the way. If you guys haven't, do us a favor. We're trying so hard to get our YouTube up. I had this actually big discussion, because Nathanius is in the same category on this, where we both worked so hard on our Twitch, well, in his case, casting careers, that, like, neither of us worked on our YouTube channel, and it's like, we wasted 2 years, right? So we're both trying to play catch-up, and we're both working really hard to make it our YouTube channel's awesome. So do us a favor, guys. YouTube.com/BaseTradeTV. It would mean the world to me if you go subscribe to it. It's a great way to catch VODs if you miss them. They're put in non-spoiler format, all in one now too. So if you guys saw our YouTube in the past when it was me doing it, I would cut up each individual game. So you'd see like Seed versus Reality, game 1. What the fuck? But anyways, now you'll see like all best of 3 in one VOD and stuff like that. So we have an actual YouTube manager dedicated to it. Nice username, has done an excellent job making it look better than ever. So please, 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 guys, I'm actually asking for a sincere favor. Check out our YouTube and hit that subscribe button while you're there.
So this is questionable.
Okay, so here's what I find interesting about this, right? Like the logic is this blocks out 4 mineral patches from mining comfortably. But you can still mine from the other 4 in the time it takes to knock down the engineering base. So I don't know what Reality was attempting to accomplish with this.
Yeah, because you're not going to transfer, immediately saturate this. But I guess it is still a bother. It's actually really messing up these initial probes. Wow, it's really messing them up.
Well, it's because he's rallied them to stupid mineral patches. Like, you can actually just manually put them on the other ones.
Agreed. But it also got the photon overcharge, which it's in that middle place right now, right? It's not 100 energy, it's not 25, so it's kind of a big deal. Like, they're not.
Well, actually, what's really interesting is if this is a Widowmine drop, and it is, and this wasn't Stargate tech to go with it, then that overcharge being popped is actually a huge freaking big deal because there's no way to deal with the Widowmines potentially. But with a Stargate coming down, you're gonna have what, if not an Oracle, at least Phoenix production to scoop up the Widow Mines. So I'm not feeling too bad for Seed right now. But that was certainly a little bit unorthodox and different out of Reality, I guess we could say. I don't even know that we've seen him do like a conventional engineering bay block, much less a mineral patch engineering bay block.
Agreed. Question: is it Popeyes that you're obsessed with?
Hell yes.
Okay.
Popeyes and Subway. If I could die eating just 2 foods, it would be Popeyes and Subway.
Well, good news about our Airbnb.
Oh, please tell me it's near Popeyes.
It is near Popeyes.
I'm so excited for Texas. Sorry. For those who don't know, on the west coast of Canada, at least in British Columbia, there's no Popeyes even in the province, and I would have to go to Seattle. And I had never had Popeyes in my life until going to Toronto, and it was magical.
It was fabulous.
And I thought, okay, maybe I'm just, the nostalgia. It was held to boot time. There's a lot of other stuff going on. Like, maybe I was excited more about that than Popeyes. But no, fuck that. When we went to Toronto and I went back to Popeyes, even though I spilled macaroni all over my shirt like a baby, it felt, it's the best. I love Popeyes, guys.
Well, I'm glad I could brighten your day a little bit.
Yeah, and completely derail the fucking cast in the meanwhile, because now I can't, like, I got a big dumb grin on my face now. I'm going to spend all week. Oh,
I just can't wait until you're bothering me and Fear Dragon the vegan.
The calories. Oh.
Yeah, me on a diet, and you're just like, oh, come with me. I don't want to go alone. Come on now.
Okay, so Phoenix do get here to the main. There's no turrets down, but frustratingly enough, knowing that a turret... Ooh, that wouldn't mind pop was nice. A turret doesn't really stop Phoenix from being this annoying anyways. So they get in, they get a couple of kills, shushed away pretty quickly, or shoot away really quickly, excuse me. But over on this side of the map, Seed has a third base down, and his probe count looks pretty nice. You know, shout out to Chrono Boost. But this is a situation where I am wondering what his later tech leads towards. You know, like, okay, we got a Stargate opener, we got a Robo down, but there's no, like, there's no Robo Bay, there's no Fleet Beacon. Like, it is still, like, there's not even a Warp Prism. So I'm really wondering what he's planning to do here. Because if he's just going all Adepts and Stalkers, he's going to have a bad time. That's for certain.
Well, I guess that's what he's doing for now. And it's certainly where I have trouble understanding how Protoss win any PvTs, is that, okay, I get that they get the 3 bases, especially on this map where you can break down the rocks and you have to be really scared unless they're going drop heavy, which they don't want to do until they have sim anyway. Okay, I get that. Protoss gets early 3rd bases now. But then what do they do after that? Like, what is the tech that you go to? In Heart of the Swarm, it was like, okay, I gotta get to Colossus somehow. Good job, I got to Colossus. Like, time to A move. But in Legacy of the Void, it is a lot... it seems a lot more difficult. It's actually having to just depend mostly on gateway units, which they can definitely work out. I mean, Resonating Glaive Adepts in the front, Blink Stalkers in the back, a couple of Immortals chipping away at those Marauders. This will be a very powerful army, but the mobility and just, you know, the pokes of terrain just always seem so good, to be honest. But reality's got to break these rocks first. That gives Seed a little bit more time.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll buy time for the army to be in position, but whether it buys time for a better defense, that's questionable. I mean, it's 70 army supply to 52. They both have +1 for certain, but that Liberator is going to be tough to break. Blink is just now finishing up. Actually, the Force Fields will zone out the bio, so there's nothing to protect the Liberator. That ends up working out really well for Seed. Guardian Shield helping out to be certain as well. Woodmine pops off a little bit late, but this will send Seed back, or Reality back home. Meanwhile, though, he does have 2 more medevacs coming to the main. I thought that army looked a little bit small for the army supply in hand, and this will catch him a bit off guard. Overcharge gets popped, but this will only buy a little bit of time, a little bit of damage. Woodmine's both being wasted on the mineral lines, however, makes this a little bit awkward. There's no picking up and leaving with a Phoenix either, so this kind of sucks for Reality. He is kind of lock these units in to do as much damage as possible, and they did not do much damage. They worked really hard to kill pylons and an assimilator.
Hey, it's tough work killing an assimilator.
Yeah, you know, it's got more health than every other gas mining building in the game, so...
Yeah, don't knock it, bro. But actually, that wasn't a very effective drop. It's not so ineffective, though, that the game's over. Reality just would have really preferred to either have that, either kill more pylons or probes, or to have this army do anything at all, basically. It was just sitting at this Onaga the entire time. So not looking so hot for Reality, he quote-unquote wasted a lot of units, because imagine if none of this has gone down and suddenly his bio army looks way, way tougher. He's also starting to lose out on upgrades. 2-1 to 1-1.
What are the chances? Oh, actually, this is big drops down here. He doesn't see the other 2 medevacs either, so this might just look like he thwarted off 2, but oh, Reality might want to have these at home. Quick question, though, before the big fight comes down. Do you think Olivia would let me bring Popeyes to her wedding?
No.
Sneak like a chicken leg under the table type thing, you know? Okay.
No.
Pylon's going to do pretty good to hold this initially, but of course it's only a small distraction. Back at home, the real big fight does come down. SCV's getting pulled. Reality was contemplating going all in with it, but I think he realizes that if he just pulls away, he can float command centers around the map. He can hold at the top of his ramp, potentially. In the meantime, slaughter Seed on the other side. Because right now he's killing pylons. He's going to kill all the production. 3 gateways are depowered. Pylon goes down. So now all the gateways are depowered. There's not going to be any more warpins if he can find a way to hold at the top of this ramp. Liberator's set up. Marines are firing from the backside. I think Reality is going to hold. And if he does, he's definitely going to beat Seed.
Yeah, I think that's for certain now. Like, that army fight did not go at all like Seed would have wanted, despite having some pretty good upgrades, which is a very awkward position for him. This drop is still alive and very healthy, to be honest. I'm surprised he felt the necessity to actually run from that. Cross it again. His 3rd base, I believe it was. Yes, it was his 3rd base, just took the 4th base, and his natural command center did live. It's being set down now.
Yeah, and he pulled some of his SCVs to the main, so even though he lost some, he did keep a significant chunk alive, at least more than if he had, you know, lost them in the natural. But gateways are finally getting powered up once again. Seed's floating a lot of money, not because of bad macro, but just because he could not build anything.
Yeah. This game is not over yet. C did take out a lot of SCVs, so reality is depending on mules.
It is such an astonishing army lead now, though. I guess
Yeah.
upgrade leads are in the favor of Seed, however, so maybe this will play a factor. I really can't be certain with the type of game we have afoot, but I just noticed there's a Widow Mine here. That could get some very nice hits.
It's gonna get probably like 2 or 3 probes. See, this is again where I feel like Terran just, this is how reality got in the situation. He didn't have to take the main army engagement. He could still drop and, then have to take it, but still. Dropping, poking, taking care of the Blink Stalkers. It's his biggest threat right now, killing his medevacs and just the micro Blink Stalkers, but...
I don't know if that Warp Prism will see... I don't think it will. No, it's gonna miss the base. No! Oh, no, he doesn't
I think he
see it.
saw it float over.
Did he, though? This could just be warping out of position safely to attack this base, however.
I don't know.
Like, just to
like
get the Adepts warped in so he can unload them over here where he presumes he retook his own third. And that looks to be the case. Oh, man. See,
So
this just...
close.
Like, I really cannot... Look how close that is vision-wise, guys. So this looks a little bit awkward, and I don't know if he'll think to go north. Will he? I mean, he's just walking away, but is this actually going to the mineral lines? And the answer is
Finally
yes.
got it. Should have like pretended to F2 the medevac so the warp person could continue going. All right, so I guess this is the main base. Yeah, it's the main base now taking the 4th. The 3rd retakes the 3rd. Well, it's musical chairs at bases.
It is. Olivia's very strongly wording no in Twitch chat, by the way, as to
I told ya.
But what if I happen to get her a bucket-shaped gift, and then that gift mysteriously went missing around dinner time for the wedding?
You already got her.
Well, technically not yet. So, I mean, she also doesn't... You know what? I think she has seen a Roomba online. I don't think she's ever seen one in real life. They could come...
Like a chicken.
Right. She doesn't know that they don't. Don't always believe the pictures you see online, right? It's like those stories on eBay. Like, you think you're buying an iPhone, but really you bought the box for the iPhone.
Look, I will admit that Popeyes or any, fast food place has, delicious choices, okay? Like, a salty biscuit is so good occasionally,
yes.
all right?
Oh,
but you're going to go to Texas, and you're going to eat a fast food chain.
I don't know where the condescension here is. Fill me in my ignorance.
But because Texas is really well known for southern BBQ pits, and that's what we're having at her wedding.
I don't
good food.
I don't like barbecue most of the time, though,
and
man.
it's southern, but not as southern as like North Carolina or South Carolina.
You know
but still there's some southern food.
You know what's a southern? That style
Popeyes.
of chicken. Yeah.
But you could get real southern food.
It is real southern food. I don't have access to it, man. All right, hang on. Big fight going down here for reality. Now, it's worth noting, Seed is on 3-3 for upgrades, so his Zealots, his Adepts, they can take hits, but only from the bio. Liberators are still going to Shrek them. Widow Mines are still going to hit hard. Seed does lose his 4th base, and reality is comfortably mining, as his main base moved over as well to his other 4th base. So he's looking pretty damn good. The army supplies don't look that starkly different, but, I mean, this is so freaking Marauder heavy.
The composition, especially with the ghosts, I think is definitely better for reality, but the ghosts aren't here, and I am a little worried about those Archons and the force fields, believe it or not.
There might not be ghosts, but there are Widow Mines, and those are kind of like ghetto EMPs. Like, those will pop off and deal a lot of damage to shields.
Of course, reality, those Liberators are giving a lot of safety. I think if Seed, could deal with the Liberators really easily, he'd have already pushed in here.
Probes get pulled.
That was weird.
I think it's desperate more than anything else.
Yeah, and it's not really working out. Ideally, they just take a couple of shots with Liberators, but still dying to the bio. The kiting is pretty real here, and the Archons are getting torn to shreds by the Liberators. Blink forward from the Stalkers with more Liberators. The Ghosts are going to be coming over here soon,
Oh, the Archons are choked in the back on that mineral line. They couldn't even get involved with the fight. I mean, it's worth noting, Reality is losing a substantial amount of his army, but he takes out the heavy-duty units of his opponent finally. EMPs do land, but... Man, that 3-3 really shining through. Like, I cannot stress how good upgrades are watching a fight like this.
Yeah, but the production should be enough for reality as he backs off here. He didn't lose too many of his medevacs, so he did lose his Liberators.
Yeah, but just deploying new ones forces the Stalkers to shoot them, giving the Marauders free reign. The Mothership Core gets sniped. I mean, reminding everybody, once again, Seed pulled probes into this, so he doesn't even have that many left at home. And no 4th base, no less. So even worse on the income front, as we actually check the graphs, it
That's-
has definitely gone back to the favor of reality in the last couple minutes.
I think that is why Seed just bothered pulling the probes because okay, maybe he would have had still a income for now, but I don't know if he was ever going to get a fourth base. So I think 400 minerals, just figuring that it wouldn't be denied from reality's drops. That was a big thing to hope for. But he just gone all in, and it almost has worked.
I don't know about this position. He could have backed up to this Widow Mine instead of bringing them to the front lines. The Zealots do get picked off pretty quick, but there's not enough bio.
He's got to go back to his natural. Oh, maybe not. There's a couple reinforcements that were stuck behind there.
The counter worker pull.
I think he's got this. The Archons once again are getting targeted. Immortal goes down, no Hardened Shield. Liberty's not helping out, but he doesn't need it. GG.
This was a much more back and forth first game than I expected. GG reality. But again, like, a big part of me, even though losing here, like, because again, I favor reality heavily coming into this for his TVP that we've seen. I'm impressed with Seed right off the bat. Like, despite losing this first game, I'm really impressed seeing Seed handle reality the way he did. And again, those upgrades. Oh, Zombie Grub. Those upgrades were so good.
Just like chicken wings and...
Why are you doing this? You know this is just going to get me going again. Like, this is...
So, I'm still feeling kind of queasy from the mass amount of cereal I ate earlier. But I just really want a salty biscuit now. I damaged myself, Rifkin.
So Total Biscuit after he's had a day on Reddit? Alright, so, actually, question is, what's worse? The person who, like myself, overreacts to Popeyes, or the person who forces the reaction, a la Zombie Grub, to Popeyes?
You.
One's the instigator. Like, it's like a chicken and the egg question when you think about it, because like I wouldn't react this way if you didn't bring it up, but you bringing it up does force me to react that way. So which is the real cause of problems?
Question?
By the way, I love the judgment that came down in chat the second I expressed loving Popeyes. What
Well,
fucking
that
ever,
just-
guys. Like, I do not care. Like, you can think what you'd like about whether Texas has better barbecue or like Rifkin shouldn't like Popeyes in general. From somebody who has been eating what is strictly home-cooked chicken, peas, and corn for 2 weeks, and for 2 weeks more prior to going to Texas, I'm gonna eat whatever the fuck I want, man. Like,
It is also that you said you didn't like barbecue. They got people going.
so, I guess my experience with barbecue is I've probably never had really good proper barbecue. I've had several types of barbecue, and I'm not counting Korean barbecue in this, by the way. But, like, where even if it's over a fire pit, over a barbecue grill itself, like, food gets burnt, it's not good. I don't like smoke, whatever. Orena, see you guys in a sec. All right, welcome back. Game number 2 here in the Olimoleague, currently going down. We didn't actually advertise it during the first game, so I want to give, of course, a quick shout out to the Patreon and all the Patreons involved. I know once upon a time we had some scrolling text with all y'all's names, but please know that even though we don't do that now, we still love you. And without your support, we wouldn't have this awesome, amazing tournament. And already with the games we've had leading up to this, I've been quite excited. Of course, there's the lack of CVZ element, but also the fact that we still have the finals ahead of us. Winner of this goes on to fight against Hydra. And there's a lot of money on the line for the Olimoleague. I guess it's worth noting because we didn't talk about either before we do intros. 4th and 3rd place. So all the matches we just cast, all the matches we're casting now, worth $75. That's pretty good. But of course, 1st and 2nd place prizing brings $350 and $200 to the table. So still quite a bit of money ahead for everybody. But in the top left, well, I say everybody, but more like one of these two. In the top left, he's playing damn well today. It is going to be the Blue Protoss player, Seed.
In the bottom left, as the Red Terran, it is Reality. And I need to be right back for a second.
All right. Okay, so while Zombies BRB, again, just kind of going into a lot of reality, one of the things we're seeing right now, really fast factory. Now, I actually think that a factory is, in my opinion, one of the strongest things you can have versus Protoss up to a point. Because we've seen Reality do things where he stays on one base intentionally, goes for really fast cyclones. We've seen him do Widow Mine drops. Hell, I've even seen Reality in days of old do straight up proxy factories, right? But my question is, with the way he's building this, with a faster starport perhaps on the way, like this is one gas. So at worst, this is like a Widow Mine drop. But on one gas, you can still throw on that tech lab, and on one gas, you could stall at the starport in favor of getting something else out. But it is going to be what looks like Widow Mine drops for the opener. So again, the one gas taken early, the second gas being added now. It will delay your natural base, but the timing on this usually gets over there so fast, especially on a map like Arena. You'll be able to get to that mineral line, you'll be able to get some kills, and hell, scout the heck out of the base while you're at it.
Hello.
Welcome back. Just talking about the factory opener. SCV's also going to get that scout too, which is kind of nice. And I think one of the big things he's going to see right off the bat is that there hasn't been any sort of form of detection placed down. There's no forge for cannons, no robo for observers, and most importantly, no Stargate. So even if any of those three things were to start right now, the Widow Mine would still get across the map.
Yeah, okay, so this looks like a very typical opener for Arena, so I feel like I didn't miss a whole lot. It is, I guess we had to bring up the one base attacks that did plague Protoss, at least for our Ting qualifiers. I haven't seen too much TDP after all of DBZ, so I guess it's almost like, it feels like home right now. The medevac is almost prepared to go. Not going to take on the pylon, although with this many units I feel like it could. Just plant the Widow Mine, kill the pylon.
Man, there's some passion coming out in chat about this whole barbecue debate, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And I almost want to get snarky about it, but then I realized like I would probably give the same sort of argument in favor of like poutine or something. Like, I guess it's just like that home cooked home field. Now, that Stalker gets picked off is a pretty big deal. It was the one of three army units. Mothership Corps is waiting to pop an overcharge. She doesn't know where the army's going to be sitting, but this gets about 6 probes to start. It's worth noting there still isn't a way to actually clean up that Widow Mine. The Observer's about to come out. There we go.
And
Pylon in the middle of the map did block out Hellions, which was a huge deal. This was going to be a pretty big follow-up.
Yeah. The Hellions are supposed to go in the natural. I mean, they would have gotten that probe chancer, for instance, so that would have been a really, really big deal. They do take down the pylon finally, so C does have to be careful about any further probe transfers back to the natural. But so far, I don't think Reality has done quite enough damage.
But that,
the Liberator coming in.
That may change. Yeah, there's going to be an overcharge, but it's only catching the clip end of that base. He is denying mining on the natural with those Hellions while this goes on. If the Stalkers want to take the fight with the Hellions, he sees the transfer, he wants to go for it, but sees the Stalkers as well and backs up. But I was going to say, if he chases the Hellions, then he leaves an opening in the main for these Marines to come back in, and 4 more probes get picked off. Now, for Reality, he's only just taking his natural. That's something that definitely needs to be emphasized in this. Like, this looks like tremendous amounts of damage and denial, but it's not. Like, this is kind of like evening up the game at best currently.
Oh, well, maybe spoke too soon. A lot more probes going down in the Hellions.
Didn't see those guys sneak back in. Up to 10 probes killed on top of this. Down to 21 workers. Gets the Stalker. And the Mothership Core, where is she right now? Still sitting in the main. So the Hellion gets lifted up to the high ground, out of vision, so nothing sees this. As he kind of runs over.
It is only one Hellion. There's not even that many probes over here, so not going to get too much damage done. But
she's got the Warp Prism, actually, so
that's nice.
I would say kind of worth.
So
that actually prompts the Viking right away. Ooh.
Probes down and the amount of time lost with the transfers, I think Reality actually got a good situation from this opener. Because at first it didn't look that likely, so he'd looked really well prepared for it. But now he's following up with this tank push, and it's a very bare bones tank push, mind you. Like 2 tanks, a handful of Marines, but no upgrades on them. But it's still a case where it's pretty powerful, especially if this Widow Mine can get a decent hit. And if they can abuse the bridge.
I want to comment too that Warp Prism was used really well to deal with the Liberator. Kind of cool to see, but this fight in the middle of the map will not be made up with decent micro, and it is pretty good micro coming out of Seed. GG. Reality with a 2-0 lead now in the series. I say though, like, I've never seen anyone quite handle a Liberator like that. Normally you just get Phoenix, but I guess it does take 2 shots to kill a Stalker, and the whole pick-up drop aspect of that Warp Prism was really cool to see. So it did deal with it very effectively. But anyways, Wired 1 reset for 15 months at some point. Again, we missed it. I'm sorry. We got all kinds of things going on with Twitch alerts lately. But we're going to go to a small break as we get into game number 3. It is going to be once again Seed's pick. And we'll see you guys soon. All right, Scene, if you want to swap any second. There we go, a bit of lag. It is game number 3, folks. If you're just joining us here, it's the semifinals of the Olimoleague. In the bottom left side, we've got the red Terran player. It's going to be none other than Samsung Galaxy's Reality, who is up 2-0 currently.
In the top right, as the blue Protoss, It's Seed.
I gotta tell you, this is like one of my favorite mornings for the Olimoleague, man. Talking about Popeye's chicken, casting StarCraft with a good friend, and lo and behold, we're going to Texas in like a week. Like, and reality is looking to go to the finals versus Hydra. Like, I am literally just like bouncing up and down on my chair right now.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I don't know about the food talk because I really don't want to feel the need to go to Popeyes because I have a Popeyes right next to me. Not to brag.
Yeah, well, you just rub it on my face, whatever, man.
I have so many options around me. I mean, I have KFC combined with Taco Bell, and then the mall has Popeyes, plus like a bunch of other stuff.
Okay, context here for those who don't know where I live. Zamgrub, as it sounds like, lives near civilization. I unfortunately don't. Oh, by the way, thank you, Mr. Ball Race Macro, for the 15-month resub and a donation coming from Dongle. Says, Mr. Rifkin, I am disappointed the pedo mustache is not accentuating your beautiful face. In fact, leaving that pedo mustache on your face will subsequently lower you from a 10 out of 10 in looks to a 2 out of 10. Please shave on the next break. With regards, Dongle. Dongle, you forgot to do the most important thing with that donation, though, and let us know what color you want Zamgrub's hair to be. So I'll keep an eye in chat for your name if you want to let us know. Mustache, though, unfortunately stays whether I want it to or not, at least until Austin, because that's what you guys are retarded and donated for. But anyways, I was just going to say really quick, context for me is a 20-minute walk from here is a Subway / gas station sushi. An hour walk from here is a little bit closer to civilization. That's where the grocery stores are, there's like McDonald's, Subway, Starbucks, you name it. But I really don't live near any. Like, I live in the country, which is a big part of why I got into casting and just the internet in general, because there is nothing to do in real life around where I live. So when everyone like wants to find like Rifkin's so sheltered, he hasn't had a lot of food. I'm like, well, yeah, because I don't live near anything that's easily accessible. Like, if Zambriev says like she's 5 minutes from a Popeyes, I'm just like, congratulations, I hate your face.
Feels it's just about right. Yeah. I mean, actually, we used to, because this used to be, I guess we have nothing really going on in this game. I don't know, wouldn't mind dropping on 2 base this time.
We have like multiple Borises resubbing right now, by the way. I just went through that.
Yeah, Boris the Neko. Thanks to the 3 month resub.
I like to imagine this and Riamar's clones are not clones necessarily, but more like alternate realities of each other.
Ah. So, shoot, a scan goes down, but I was going to say, like, we used to live in the country. Like, if you drive 30 minutes out, you find farms and, you know, whatnot. And back when I was first here, you'd hear, like, roosters crow in the morning and whatnot. But, like, they've been, like, flipping so, like, obsessed with expanding. So, while on one hand, it makes me sound really spoiled to say that I have about 3 grocery stores all within a 5-minute walk, it's also very unnecessary. Why do they do this? They just ruin good places for deers to frolic.
Actually, speaking of that, I saw the first coyote since winter yesterday when I was up in the walk.
I have not seen a coyote. I've seen foxes and deer.
Actually, so here's something I've always wondered. I actually don't know if there's a difference between the two or if it's just a pronunciation thing, but like a coyote versus a coyote.
Same thing.
Yeah, I was wondering like one was like a way to indicate like a female or something maybe, but yeah, there's a farm right nearby and with the cow pasture out. I've never seen or heard them killing a cow, but that's the field they always appear in, or at least come out of the forest at. So either they've brokered a deal with the cows for safe passage, or they're buying their time until one finally kicks the bucket.
Oh damn.
Anyways, the medevac drop is going to come around the backside, and the mothership core should be able to just overcharge that pylon pretty easily. She's not too far away. Right, here we go. First drop. Second drop.
She's far
no
enough away. This will not work.
No. Okay, well, you know, 2 probes or 2 widow mines getting the same hits there was actually a bit bad for layering. So 10 kills is good, but it's more like 5 for each, not like one really sick, amazing widow mine hit.
Okay. Well, it was off of 2 bases, in fact 3, as Reality finishes up his 3rd CC in his natural. So that means his stim is pretty delayed. And he won't be able to follow up that push, but it still was like pretty good damage. For not much committal, not any committal, because he didn't lose the widow mines. So he's going to come back in later when Seed hopefully is once again unprepared. You know, Seed goes for 3rd base. He also goes for a Stargate. It's pretty late Oracle. It's going to be a surprise Oracle.
Well, you know what that Oracle can do, right? It can move at the optical. Oh, I thought I said optimal. I read it. The optical speed just reset for 3 months. I was trying to make an excellent pun and then messed it up. So I regret everything. Kill me. I'm so embarrassed right now.
Like those webcomics, just like kill me, like the bee.
Yeah. Just like zooms in on the face, looking so just mortified. The Warp Prism is going to get scattered by the Marine. It's not going to be able to kill it clearly, but this will give Reality an idea of which angle to expect an attack. So turret comes down a little bit off to the side, looks a bit silly, but we'll be able to catch the Warp Prism most easily as it passes by. The Medevac's going to be on top of this too, and a Widowmine even positions itself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that Medevac should just chase it. Chances are there are not stalkers in there, so Medevac would be able to unload too if she boosts.
Huh.
That's favorable to Reality. What's up?
Everyone's been making such a big deal about today's date, and I don't understand why.
7/11.
No, it's the 20th of April.
I don't know if you're trying to make a joke.
There's like a nation of people who I guess celebrate
Oh,
this.
it is April 20th, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't that Hitler's birthday? Why is that such a big deal to people?
I don't know about Hitler's birthday. I know when Stalin's birthday is.
Psych, Vape Nation! Man, I've never understood why this day gets hyped so much. Like, Oh, hold up. We'll talk about the silliness later. The Oracles get in and actually skirt past that turret. Worth noting, with 2 of them, this will kill SUVs very quickly. And while a bunker may have been made, there's nothing currently in it, so this gets a little bit awkward. One will go down, but this, I think, had a lot more potential for Seed. Oh, that other turret was in such a sick spot from earlier, so both Oracles go down. And for Seed, this wasn't so much like, okay, cut my losses, but with an Oracle living afterwards, the idea is that, okay, it doesn't get a lot of kills, but it's going to be able to cast Revelation for the rest of the game. And to invest into a third one for that purpose alone is not really worth it. I definitely don't know about a Void Ray, but I think Revelation was going to be a very, not just nice, but necessary tool going forward. So losing out on that, not being able to see where the medevacs are at all times, that's a big problem for any Protoss player.
Agreed. I'm not sure about the Void Ray either, but he did get it last game. I thought that was just because his production was so poor. He was like, okay, what can I build out of anything? But I guess it's maybe something that's going to help out versus Liberators. I do remember some other Protoss attempting to go for more than 2 or 3 Void Rays. And we guessed it was to deal with Liberators. But, you know, despite Reality going for a pretty greedy, passive, safe build, his plan was not to get up to Liberator super quickly, which you might see in some other games. He is just going still for mass bio and not even including that many Widowmines. This is a pretty scary Protoss army, but they don't have their upgrades yet, so I don't think Seed wants to take this fight. And he is the one that backs off. The upgrades, actually, speaking of, is going to be now in favor of Reality, so as opposed to the first game, where those upgrades were pretty heavily in favor. Reality goes for a big Doom drop. Oh dear, there's no Observer over here. There's like nothing to alert Seed.
Well, I mean, the scan is kind of like, you scan to say this is where I plan to drop. But I will say, again, this kind of goes back to that Oracle for a moment. Like, if these were revealed, this wouldn't be a problem at all. But I guess for Seed, there's a way of saying, okay, I might not know where your medevacs are, but I know how to make them come to me, and that's by potentially attacking your base. I'm not sure if he's considering moving out or if he's just posturing right now, but this is getting a little bit scary. Disruptors are certainly going to be interesting to see. There's some people who have had different aspects on dealing with these. Some people just pick up and the medevacs fly away. Some dive forward trying to focus them down. Or some people do what Polt does, and that's somehow manage to split versus the damn things. Because even though I think all of us know like the best way to split is last second and wait for it, it's so hard to actually execute that with the split second timing decision making you have to make. But first disruptor shot's gonna bowl in, and good find on the Marauders on the backside, but it was the first disruptor and it goes down.
Yeah, it really wasn't enough damage. The second one is out now, and it's gonna look for a bit more of the heart of the army. But, you know, Reality doesn't have to push in. He could just grow his Liberator count to continue containing Seed while taking his own 4th, which is done. Liberator's on Siege, not sure why. A bigger concave is set up from Reality. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get you. No, I'm not. I'm gonna get you. No, I'm not.
It's kind of like that, that slap game. You put your hands out and you like
Yeah,
fake out the
yeah,
slap. That's
yeah.
exactly kind of the situation we have in hand. But unfortunately, going to take the full-on engagement. Misses with that first disruptor. Loses out on that second disruptor shot. I think Seed losing on those disruptors is actually kind of going to cost him this fight. Had he landed good shots, it's going to look very, very different. But Guardian Shield, despite the benefit it brings, those upgrades, reigning supreme, Liberators advancing
Dear
their front
God.
line. The Voiders are trying to focus on them. They're doing a good job, but they get picked off by the Marines.
Those disruptor shots were actually pretty good. They got
Yeah.
a lot of Marauders, that are very expensive, but
It's still 33 supplied to the 104 when it comes to army value. And
that's
while
pretty
good
too.
disruptor shots are finally having been had, is it too late?
Almost. This is pure Marauder, so funnily enough, if only those Voiders had survived.
Yeah, there'd be nothing to shoot them down.
Yeah, and what's also key is that there's not a lot of units to split, even though the units that are available are very good. So they take out the Immortal, which was their biggest threat. They have the upgrades, which you noted before, but finished up at 2-2. Seed is so close to 2-2 now, but I mean, he doesn't have any units to really use it on.
Yeah, I mean, if Seed had upgrades, you could argue a good fight, like we saw on Runes of Endion, but that's not going to happen here. GG gets called. In reality, we'll take the series 3-0, moving on to the finals, which I believe is a best of 7.
Yes.
So that was a mistake on the bracket earlier then. Okay. So best of 7 grand finals coming up next. It's going to be Hydra versus Reality in a TVZ. I actually am super stoked about this because I think Hydra would have walked all over Seed. I love Seed and he looks so good versus Sulky, and losing here kind of sucks. I still have big hopes every time I see him play, but I do think Reality and Hydra are probably the two best matched players when it comes to looking at these brackets, at least at a glance.
Mm-hmm.
But this will be interesting to see. So best of 7 for this grand finish. We're going to be repeating maps, but all the maps must be used first before being able to even repeat them. Hell, it might even be a 4-0. We don't know. I hope it's not, though. Either way, we're going to take a small break while we get this first lobby set up for Invader, and we'll see you guys in 2 minutes.